The vote had no real surprises. Russia would deploy its veto power to block adoption. The real question, how many votes in support would highlight its growing isolation? 11 in the end, with 3 abstentions, as Moscow stood alone in the no column.
Not surprisingly, Russia exercised its veto power today in an effort to protect Russia's premeditated, unprovoked, unjustified, and unconscionable war in Ukraine. But let me make one thing clear. Russia, you cannot veto this resolution. You can veto this resolution, but you cannot veto our voices.
The draft resolution sought to deplore Russia's aggression against Ukraine, to press Russia's immediate withdrawal of its troops from that country. It reaffirmed Ukraine's sovereignty, territorial integrity and independence, called for the unconditional reversal of Russia's recognition of separatist regions of Ukraine, and for unhindered humanitarian access, among others. All 3 African countries, Kenya, Gabon and Ghana, voted in favour of the resolution.
Et aux principes qui fondent la Charte des Nations Unies.
We are wedded to the principles underpinning the Charter of the United Nations. We champion an international order that is fairer, a rules-based order. For this reason, today we condemn the war against a member of the United Nations.
China's envoy abstained, arguing that while the sovereignty of all states should be respected, he also sought to address Russia's security concerns.
Against the backdrop of 5 successive rounds of NATO expansion, Russia's legitimate security aspirations should be given attention and addressed properly. Ukraine should become a bridge between the East and the West, not an outpost for confrontation between major powers.
Russia's ambassador offered a fierce defense of his country's veto.
I will not respond to those who just accuse the Russian Federation of abusing the veto right. Well, the main reason for our negative vote is not the fact that what is included in the draft, but what is left out. If its sponsors were to attempt to make it even remotely balanced, then they would not have left out issues which must be addressed and cannot be overlooked in the context of the Ukrainian problem.
An emotional Ukrainian ambassador called for a moment of silence for the lives lost in the war to date and those who would be lost in the future.
I invite the Russian ambassador to pray for salvation.
The US envoy also confirmed the imposition of US sanctions targeting Russia's president and his foreign minister. The draft, which was open to co-sponsorship from all member states, did not win over South Africa's support, with envoys arguing it was unbalanced and did not address the need for diplomacy, negotiation and a peaceful solution to the conflict. Sherwin Bryceby's SABC News, New York.